Today we're going to talk about how to find the greatest common factor of two or more numbers. The greatest common factor, or GCF, is the greatest factor that two or more numbers have in common. There are several ways to find the GCF of two or more numbers. One way is to list the factors of each number and then find the greatest number they have in common. Now remember, factors are numbers you can multiply to get to the number. So 1 times 14, those are two factors that give you a product of 14. 2 times 7, and those are all the factors of 14. 35, you can do 1 times 35. 5 times 7, and those are all the factors of 35. So now you have to find the greatest factor that they have in common, and the GCF of 14 and 35, the greatest common factor. So you've listed all the factors and then found the greatest one they have in common is 7. You have to be careful, because if you leave any factors out, you might miss the greatest common factor. Okay, so here we have 12 and 16. The factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. The factors of 16 are 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. So the greatest common factor, 2 is a common factor, but the greatest common factor is 4. Another way to find the GCF is to use prime factorization. You find the prime factorization of each number, and then you find the product of the common factors. Okay, so the GCF of 12 and 18, we're going to use a factor tree. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 2 is 4. Once you get to a prime factor, you can circle it. So the prime factorization of 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. You should always multiply those together to make sure they give you your number. 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12. Okay, the prime factor tree for 18. 3 times 6 is 18. 2 times 3 is 6. So the prime factorization of 18 is 2 times 3 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Times 3 is 18. So the common factors are 2 and 3. So you do 2 times 3 is 6. The GCF, the greatest common factor of 12 and 18, is 6. Okay, here you see a factor tree for 18 and 24. Prime factors of 18 are 2 times 3 is 6, times 3 is 18. Prime factors of 24 are 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 3 is 24. Circle the factors they have in common. Okay, they have a 2 in common. They have a 3 in common. Okay, so 2 times 3 is 6. The GCF, the greatest common factor of 18 and 24, is 6. Remember, the GCF is the greatest factor that two or more numbers have in common. You can use a list or a prime factorization to find the GCF of two or more numbers. Make sure your answer makes sense and check your work.